Yeah, how's everything? How's your day?
Good. How about you?
Yeah, it's going good. It's going good. So, what's the latest news so far?
Um, I'm still having a hard time like going up in ranks. It seems like it's very grindy. I don't know if it's like that in all ranks, but it seems like I have to be like on a winning streak for me to get anywhere.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
like I said, I don't know what it is like in like higher ranks, but like it seems like I'm losing and gaining the same amount. So for me to like get anywhere, I have to like get like maybe 10 streaks of wins maybe or something.
Yeah, it's typically well because the game sees that your skill level is higher, it pushes you up. So it's basic, but overall, it's basically all about the skill level. If you get better at a certain skill, that your rank is inevitably is getting higher. It's like, for instance, there are no maybe plat player who can be hard stuck in a silver because of the skill of the skills they have, or like top of 100 players they also can be stuck because of the skill level. So I would focus on that, maybe seeing what you exactly do, don't do, maybe, or like are you doing certain things consistently. I think this is gonna be quite important. Yeah, maybe regarding that, actually, what have you been practicing so far?
I'm trying to be mindful of trying to like look around like when I'm positioning, like just being aware of like everything. Um the thing is like mid fight sometimes it seems like it's suddenly I'm like abandoned, like we're in the middle of a team fight and then it's like suddenly either like everyone's somewhere else and like I don't realize they're somewhere else and I'm
Hmm.
like left alone. And I mean with Kiriko it's not that bad because I could just like teleport to someone, but like say if I'm like Anna or someone, I'm basically kind of out of luck because she doesn't have like that mobility.
Yeah. Yeah. I see that. Yeah, it's probably the signal that you need to more effective to be able to to scout information in a more effective way. So if your awareness is pretty high, you know where the fire is gonna be, you can anticipate this sort of stuff. It's definitely your position will change and you will not die as much, or you will not be that far away, or like that really close to your team, stuff like that. So can pay attention to that actually. How do you scout? What do you do exactly? Yeah, might be useful. Do
I
you?
think,
Mhm.
oh, sorry.
Yeah,
I
no,
was
go
gonna
ahead.
say, I think lately, I think my frustration is more like with the team. It's like what they're doing kind of thing. Like
Hmm.
lately, it's been like, say for example, like there's an enemy Pharah, and like my DPS are Sim and Junkrat, and it's like I know those two aren't really effective against Pharah, and it's like
Uh-huh.
sometimes I want to be like ask them like maybe you should be something that can handle
Mhm.
Pharaoh better than like Symmetra or Junkrat, but then I don't want to be like controlling or anything.
Mhm. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, here's the thing. Usually, whenever you notice, use a player, and it can be in any. Yeah, there's even a tendency in a sport, let's say. Yeah, if there's a player and you notice you focus on something external, it can be your teammates, it can be your enemies, where you start thinking about it a lot, then you well, first of all, you become more anxious. And because you don't exactly think about what you can do, yeah, because most of your thought put towards more external, then it's harder for you to solve exactly your position. It's exactly hard for you to solve the your map control, yeah, anything. And this is what
Right.
can influence your game, because you cannot control your teammates really. And we gotta, I guess, it's quite important to remind yourself that, yeah, maybe is there anything you can do, maybe any exercise which could help you to potentially keep yourself focused on your own goals, on um your own, I guess, skills and everything. What you could do.
Um, that's a good question. Probably just like think maybe I remember you showing me something early on, like a flow chart. Actually, it just hit me about that when you mentioned things out of my control or um,
Mhm.
but pretty much just maybe just worry about myself more and what I'm doing.
Yeah, but what you can do is there anything? Yeah, maybe I can pull out the notes. Actually, we can discuss it a bit more. Let me see. So I'm just gonna screen share this board. I remember there was a time when we talked about SWOT model with you. That was more about confidence, I believe. Yeah, kind of looking.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. There was a. Do you are you still doing this model or?
Um, actually, it just like when right now it just like hit me that there is that. I kind of like actually got. I can get focus on different things. Like right now, I'm like focused on like the positioning, so it's like difficult for me to like remember different things.
Hmm. Hmm. I would say maybe try to get back to this model. See, we got some notes in a. So I think we got the notes in the document. It says, remember, just this is because I think this is something what can help you out potentially whenever you using the SWOT model. Is a just it's a helper sort of. It's just a tool which allows you to form better habits in the learn. So if you do it maybe every week, maybe you do it every yeah, every day. Well, every day if you can. I think this is even better. But at least every week is really nice. So I'm just gonna say, yeah, like if we got this problem, okay, the problem is focus on your team or maybe enemy too much. Yeah, we wanna because we want to pay attention to what's in your control. I think definitely do this. This is a big helper. The sort model. You still have the notes in the document, I believe. Yeah, it should be there. Okay, and also thinking about something like if we focus on on not on ourselves, not on your gameplay. Well, what could be helpful? Any ideas? Anything you could think about besides that flowchart here, like that sort model? Anything else?
Um, That's all I can think. I mean, a side thought I had is like I know like it's a team game, so I
Mm-hmm.
think it's more like me wanting to be team oriented
Mm-hmm.
since it's like we all want to win, so it's like
Mm-hmm.
if like I see my team isn't being effective, it's
Mm-hmm.
like like say like a weak TP damage is not gonna help us like win in the long term. Like
Mm. But how do you know that, first of all? Here's the thing, like there are a lot of things like that. Well, I would say this. Yeah, it's not just I guess it's not that maybe we're not as knowledgeable a lot of times when we're in a match because it's really like you in the heat of the moment. It's pretty difficult for you to exactly identify. Might be difficult to identify what is the best in the learn zone. But here's the thing: if you tell somebody, like let's say, you know something is the problem, like you tell them to swap, right?
right.
What is that gonna lead to? Is that gonna be any big help potentially? If
Well, I know most people probably don't take kindly to that. They want to
exactly,
play who they want to
exactly,
play.
exactly, they take it really defensive. It's really important. People, if you tell them to swap or do certain stuff, people take it defensive. So you lower the chances of you winning. So you wanna really recognize it. Yeah, if you tell somebody to do that, again, we're focusing on not what's out under our control, then they play not as good. Maybe they might listen to you, by the way. But what happens with this? Well, maybe if they listen to you, they might not play the best characters, which is again really it's not nice because maybe they have 100 hours on Farah, but you notice that they maybe like it's your thoughts they get encountered by Hitscan, and then you tell them to swap to something like May, but then they have 0 hours in May, but they still play it, and in the long run, it's not going to be really effective for your team. So there are a lot of rabbles like that. I guess the main idea is that yeah, you usually don't want to do that, mainly because it's either yes, I'm gonna write down they become defensive or play not their best. Let's say that you're not playing scrims. You're not playing with them long term. Let's put it this way. If you do play scrims, I think it might be useful to think about the strategies. But even if you tell somebody to swap, yeah, it's like really important. So I'm just gonna put it here as like note. Yeah, if you tell somebody to swap in the long term, you wanna do it outside of the match. You know why outside of the match is better? Is because during the match, you need to figure out how to win the next fight. And you just don't have time to kind of think about the strategies and tell everybody, oh, what went wrong, like what you could have played. Just playing. Just playing is really important. Focus on the next fight. Focus on what you can do. So yeah, do it outside of the match. If you playing scrims, typically scrims is where you do it, I guess. All right. Does it make sense?
Right.
Yeah, so it
Yes.
can be this. Okay. I'm thinking, well, what could keep you in control? What can you help you to focus on what you control? Well, this is one solution. Mentioned that. Well, there are a few solutions like so instead of doing this, we mentioned, yeah, you maybe I would avoid communicating. Yeah, you just focus on your play. Do not communicate. You can even mute chat and mute chat because at this level, what's the most important is your performance. It's not communication. Communication is only valuable. Well, it's more valuable when you solved all the fundamentals, and it's basically maybe you see yeah players also play quite a lot at the top of 100 level. They because they solved all their performance. They solved all the fundamentals. It's easy for them to communicate and get additional value. Yeah, I would just say this: 99% of your value it's about the performance, and only 1% is communication. So if you choose to put more emphasis towards communication, tell somebody to swap and such, might be not as effective yet, at least yet. Yeah, maybe if you can communicate without hindering without hindering your performance, then it's good. But most of the time, it's not the case with most of the players. So I want you to be aware of that too. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, focus on your play. Do not maybe do not communicate. Can you chat? Okay. Anything else that comes to mind to keep you accountable? Did you focus on your own actions a little bit more?
So, like, say, like, I know you said mute chat, but like, say, like, I also had like another like match where like someone wanted me to be Mercy, and I couldn't
Hmm?
understand why they wanted me to be Mercy so bad. And I'm like the kind of person I'm not gonna question it, and I'm like there to like please. So I switched to Mercy, and it wasn't so bad because I mean like Mercy's easy to play, but like should I like be unwilling to swap if they're asking me to swap or?
You tell me. So here's the thing. Yeah, So we're saying when you play Mercy, is your Mercy in your pool even? Do you actively practice her?
I mean, I'm not the like the greatest, but I mean, she's like I think she's pretty easy to play. So like,
Well, well, it can be. I would say she's really hard to play though. Because there are a lot of well, it's not that something is easy or hard to play. I think everything at some extent it's like can be hard and easy depending on the skills you're trying to learn. With Mercy, it's quite hard to polish, I guess, to learn the most about the game sense, just making sure you scout in effectively because this is the most important skill for her, and there's quite a lot of information you need to keep an eye on. So yeah, in that sense it might be hard. In sense of maybe not just maybe supporting, healing everybody, damage boosting might be easier compared to other supports mechanically, at least. But maybe your position and movement it's pretty tough. With Mercy, you need to have really good movement as well to be able to dodge stuff. So there's quite a lot of things, but anyway, all these micros, if you don't have the Mercy in your pool, again, you're just slowing down your performance. You need to pick something out of your comfort pool. So my pool, yeah, my pool, and then you pick the character. I remember you mostly been focusing on Kiri, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and is that it, or it's been Anna
Um,
as
I
well?
know during like the play test, I really like Juno. I almost want to
Oh,
like
Juno.
play Juno when she comes out in a couple of weeks. Um, she seemed like a fun character.
Yeah, sure. You can
Um,
potentially add her later, but okay. But for now, for the most part, it's Kiri, right?
Kiri and if someone picks Kiri before me, it's usually either
Anna.
Lifeweaver or Anna, one of the two.
Yeah, still those characters. Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Yeah, and so you just want to practice those then. Again, in the long run, you practice those characters, you get better micros, you get better at everything. Yes, maybe as a short term, you can try to please somebody, but again, the question is, are you gonna play your best when you're not practicing character when the long term? Probably not. Also, are you get any value in the long term as well because you played Mercy in that game? Again, it's quite not. Yeah, you and even hindering your slowing down your improvement on the other characters. You're not practicing them, right? So you're not as maybe effective as your time. And that's why it can influence you being stuck in a certain rank too. Yes, quite
Right.
important. Mm. So this is where again, yeah, you need to mind your own business. Again, focus on
Yeah.
what is more important to you. Making sure you focusing on the characters you want to practice, making sure you play the right, yeah, even the role as well. Well, you do that already, but yeah, anyway. Mm, Something what comes to mind, maybe doing something. I think this is really important. Maybe you can put it here down up there. You need to have your own notes. You need to have your own notes to keep yourself accountable. Whenever you have an urge to say something, like you're trying to focus on your team enemy too much, look at your own notes. What do you got? Yeah, like get the sticky notes or get, I don't know, some notes on some piece of paper or something. But maybe if you have sticky notes, just like 3 goals you can work on, this is enough. Whenever you're gonna have an urge to say something to somebody, you just look at those goals and you ask yourself, are you doing, are you effectively practicing one of those goals at the moment? Can you do any better at one of those goals? It's just for today. I want you to always try to pick, I guess, see goals you practice, you can work on for the game session. You need to transition between goals. Don't be stuck on those same goals all the time. Yeah, it's really important too. What do you think? Is it
Okay.
is it good? Do you want to do that as well? Maybe you add the notes, use that as well, or
Um, that sounds good.
yeah, you can try this out. Yeah, I'm thinking what else could help. Anything else what comes to mind? What could you do?
Um, Probably not like look at the scoreboard so much because I do that a lot. Like, I think maybe that's another thing is like I look at the scoreboard and like see someone like not pulling their weight and like I know like some heroes like say like for example like Sombra,
Hmm?
it doesn't like they might have like low numbers, but I know like with Sombra her value is like elsewhere.
Mhm.
So like she might be giving us value, but it might not be like numbers wise.
Hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I think maybe like less scoreboard looking at
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really important too. Yeah. Are those numbers are those gonna really matter to us in the learn zone? That's quite important. Just looking at the I guess the numbers alone can never tell you something. The numbers, you always want to look at them depending on the context. You want to look at the entire play of the character and then look at numbers, and then it can be useful. But even you focus on numbers alone, yeah, again, it's not like gonna do anything. Yeah, it's quite important. So see all these patterns. Really catch yourself focusing on your team too much. This is the problem. Yeah, you need to solve that. You need to really keep an eye on what you do. I guess, yeah, like numbers. Yeah, like this is that important. Yeah, a lot of times I could tell you the numbers. maybe somebody died, maybe somebody didn't die. It can be both good and bad. There's no thing such as always a bad dash, a good dash. To give you an example, let's say somebody's pushing up. You got the you got the kings of first point, and somebody's pushing up. You're pushing up towards the second point, and you can trade 1-for-1 there, but it's really good if you trade 1-for-1 and die because you get better spawn. And the enemy got to really, really far spawn. As an example, but you could see maybe on a scoreboard, look somebody like doing as a 2-2. Yeah, like they have 2 deaths and then 2 kills, and then say, oh, you're doing really bad. Where in reality, they did great during the fight. Yeah, it's just an example, but all of it adds up together. Yeah, one fight did great, maybe another one, and then you see bad numbers, like you interpret that as a bad number, but in reality it was good. Yeah, maybe they repeat the same play with this bad spawn, like good spawn analogy, yeah, and they did it multiple times in a row, who knows? And then, but you
Yeah.
never know that, when you just look at the numbers. Yeah, and there might be a lot of things similar to that, actually. So not that is not as useful too. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's this. Anything else?
Um, that's all I can think of, maybe.
Yeah, I think it was good. All these notes are good so far. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't think too many. Yeah, I don't think anything else comes to mind. Just really, whenever you watch yourself, focus on something. Really, I guess ask yourself, what do you think actually about your play? Yeah, what do you think? Maybe what do you feel even in this current scenario? Yeah, so you can channel it towards your own play, towards what you can do. Yeah, maybe sometimes you can recognize, you can see your teammate did something. Well, okay, this can happen. Remember again, the SWOT model. The SWOT model, this is where it's going to be useful. Yeah, something happened. It's the fact. Maybe your teammate is throwing. Maybe you see them just jumping off the map as an example. But what the question is, what are you looking to do with that, with your own play? What are you trying to achieve? That's the most important, especially at your rank, I guess. Well, at any rank, it's really important. Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
well, I think it's just like being counterproductive to what I'm doing. Like maybe if I'm getting frustrated, that's probably why I'm going down in rank.
Yeah, it
Or
might
like not
be. It might.
growing.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
I just thought of something like maybe I'm like paying attention too much to like how much I'm losing and gaining, and maybe I just
Mm.
should like stop that looking at that screen too.
Exactly.
Um,
Exactly. So this is goals. Yeah, like your this is goal setting. Yeah, kind of like I'm looking. So you looking at the result. Yeah, looking at the result and then seeing, okay, win or loss, and then you tell yourself it's a good or bad thing. Yeah, like good or bad thing. Depending on the situation, yeah, you maybe win a lot and then you're motivated, yeah, and then you lose and then you're frustrated. But here's the thing: with wins and losses, it's never consistent. Even with the best players, you're still gonna lose and win. You still can get those win streaks or lose streaks. So the thing is pay attention to what is consistent instead of keeping an eye on those inconsistent factors, like because one day you can have an off day, you can have a good day, but because you pay attention to like your ultimate goal, your result is win or lose, yeah, pay attention to this, is not helping as much. You need to pay attention to something what's always positive, yeah, something like instead of instead of looking at wins loss, you can look at maybe your skills. Yeah, look at if you get bad at something. Look at if you get better. Yeah, I'm just gonna say certain skill. Yeah, and that's why we have those summaries there. You can always identify, maybe even self-order review. Just look each fight and see, are you doing the stuff we talked about? Yeah, maybe not everything, but just pick one concept and say, are you doing it 80% of the fights? Yeah, this is how you identify. This is more constant, I guess. Keeping an eye on this. Yeah, it's not might be not as helpful long term, I think, too.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so this is gonna be ultimate goal. Yeah, like This is the goal. It can also be the goal can be something constant, can be such as having fun, maybe just having fun with friends is also can be a good goal. By the way, a lot of times you typically can notice when this happens, when you trying to have fun, you actually win more suddenly. A lot of people surprise, oh, I'm not trying as much, but then I win. But it's because you're not being anxious and not focusing on your teammates or enemies too much. You just focus on your own stuff, your like own feelings, your own thoughts, and you play better. Actually, this is what you want to do. Yeah, I think it's really important making sure you have fun. Okay, so if you do all of this, yeah, I'm gonna put it somewhere above. Yeah, you need to have fun as well, because if you do, then you can play in a more effective way. Whatever, uh, whatever helps having fun, you can think of it. You can even do queue with somebody. Maybe sometimes for me, I remember I had some background music. Sometimes I know it's like not the best thing. You might not hear the footsteps, but this is the ultimate goal. Like having fun is really important, I think. So watch out for that. Like if you have it or not, yeah, see how it can increase. Have fun more. Okay. Yeah, anything else? Well, I think for the most part that's it, right?
Yeah. Um, I did have a question on
Oh yeah.
positioning.
Oh yeah, sure.
Um, like, is there? I think like Widowmaker's my like biggest weakness,
Hmm.
and it's like kind of hard because like no one really like pings or anything,
Hmm.
and like it's hard to me know where like the Widowmaker is positioned at without like the ping system. And like, is there like ways to know like common like spots where like a Widowmaker would like
Hmm.
go to, or that way like I could be wary of like not to be like out in the open where she can snipe me at,
Hmm.
or because like with her I feel like I get way too passive, like almost to a point where like I'm in spots where I know like she won't be able to get me from. um
Hmm. I see. I see. Okay, so well, there are multiple layers, such as first, common spots. Well, at first, I wouldn't watch out for that. The exact common spots. I would be more mindful, thinking about it as like each time, yeah, but positioning depends on the context. It depends on the context of the fight. Yes, they have common sort of spots on the map there can be, but just knowing what the character does can help you more. Yeah, the Widowmaker, understanding what they're good at, generally speaking, and as a Widowmaker, yeah, you typically take long sightline as an example. You take long sightline, open, kind of openish sides of the map. This is where you expect her. Yeah, and this is where you need to scout. Yeah, you constantly look after if she's at those positions. Because sometimes you don't know where she is. Yeah, it's understandable, but you can expect her in those long range areas. So once you expect her, you look around, you check, and play cover accordingly. I think in there are cases where you can close the gap with her and fight at a close range. If you cannot, then you don't pick the sideline. This is where you just have to constantly scout, I guess. Yeah, you have to be aware, just asking yourself every time, okay, where the Widow is. And it can be with any other threat, to be honest. It's not just Widowmaker who is dangerous. You ideally, in the long term, want to keep an eye on, be able to track every character on the map. If you're able to do that as a support, especially, it's quite you can position you will be able to position in a more effective way. You will be able to also use your abilities in a better way too. Stuff like that, I guess. Yeah, maybe if you have an example versus Widow, we can take a look at it. But yeah, generally speaking, the Widows, just keep it in mind. Long sightline, open sides of the map. This is where she will be.
you actually just reminded, I'm sorry, I'm going all over the place, but you just reminded me of something else.
Yeah.
When you said Zenyatta, his Discord orb,
Huh.
I know with like Kiriko, like she has the cleanse, and um, I think I got like myself into a habit of like when someone gets discorded, I just go straight for the cleanse. And um,
Hmm?
should I just like let the person play around the discord, or is it like good to just like cleanse it? Or
The question is, about our previous session, what we mentioned about the Suzu. I think there was a one note. Yeah, there was
I
one.
think it was
Mm.
like for every two cooldowns or something. That part I
Yeah,
remember. You said like every two cooldowns is one Suzu
sort
or
of.
something.
Depending on situation, yeah. It's just you need to identify where's the big pressure. If somebody's being pressured, let's say the person is discorded, well, but it's not instantly a signal for you to throw the discord on them. Maybe there's somebody in the map who is being affected by two cooldowns and they also are critical, so you need to throw Suzu at them. Yeah, you need to constantly identify. Just try to deny big stuff. Yeah, big cooldowns. Make sure there's big amount of pressure towards your teammate, and then Suzu. Of course, you want to keep an eye on your cast time. Yeah, it takes time to cast the Suzu, but still, yeah, you need to first anticipate who's gonna be really active, look at them, and then see if they're actually receiving pressure. Then you use the Suzu. It's not yeah, that's why in the case of Zenyatta, it might be not the case that you have to cleanse it. If there's nothing else to do, if you're really confident, well, there's nobody else taking pressure, or they're not gonna take pressure in the near future. Like what's the Suzu cooldown? Around 10 seconds now. So it's yeah, if they're not gonna take any more pressure in 10 seconds, then sure you can cleanse it. It's typically when you're really far from the enemy, you can do that. But in most situations, just cleansing the Discord is not enough. Yeah, you need to also see if the person
Okay.
is receiving the pressure. Mm-hmm.
I know like with Discord how fast it is for someone to like get melted by. Like it's like almost
No, it's
like
true.
you get discorded and then suddenly they're dead. It's like um
The
so like
mhm.
in a way that's why I'm kind of like try to be on top of it just to prevent them from getting melted
Yeah,
almost.
exactly. So you need to read the situation and see once they're gonna get pressured. Sure, it's a good thing. But it's not good to just cleanse the Discord. You need to have to keep an eye on if they actively getting pressured. If yes, sure. If not, then you don't have to. Most of the time, at least. Yeah, this is what I would. Yeah, this is how I would think about that. Well, regarding your regarding your practice, just what are the concepts you've been able to apply so far? The game concepts.
Um right now it's just like positioning and the off angles.
Hmm.
Um
Mm-hmm.
getting trying to I don't know if it's going well, but I'm trying to be better about that.
Sure. That's nice.
And um, I kind of go back and forth. I don't know. It's not good, but like in a way, I kind of like. It's like I get bored of Kiriko, so I switch to Anna. So it's like I do like an Anna Kiriko thing.
Hmm?
So it's like just to like feel more engaged, I guess.
So it's just because you not having as much fun, then you start playing other character. That's what you're saying, or
Right. Like say if like I play too much Kiriko, maybe it's like I like say I mentally have enough of like Kiriko for a while, so then I'll switch to Anna. So lately, like my gameplay has been with Anna.
Mhm.
Um, the thing with her, I think, is does her what is it? The anti
Mhm.
is her anti like almost like Suzu? Like, do I treat her anti the same?
No, the anti is well, in a way that is how you throw it. Just yeah, let's say okay. In the nature, the nade is more offensive, and the Suzu is defensive. Yeah, with the nade, we want to let's say nade anybody who's been active on the enemy team. You just nade them, you disable their pressure, and then you can kill them. With Suzu, it's other way around. You Suzu, the most active member on your team. Yeah, so it's defensive cooldown. So you almost never need for healing. You need to nade for damage because of just how the game works. Remember, talked about that. The damage output is always higher than healing output. So you need to set up win condition around how you apply pressure, first of all.
Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this is what you can think about. Uh-huh. Is it anything else?
Um, I think that's it. Because with with Anna, I don't think I have like I remember like a few sessions ago, you told me to like
Mm.
watch for like cooldowns to
Mm-hmm.
like punish with sleep.
Oh yeah, there's
Um,
been one. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, that's
but
true.
I think it's like I guess I have a hard time noticing like cooldowns unless it's like the really obvious ones,
Hmm.
like say Junker Queen's like axe swing or something
Mm-hmm.
like that. Um, the thing is, I'm not good at aiming sleep dart either, so
Mm-hmm.
um, I also think I need to like work on the aim. Like I do the Vaxta
Mm-hmm.
thing,
Mm-hmm.
but um,
This can
yeah, I
definitely
think
help. One of this, at least to solve some of the mechanical things, it can help, I think. Remember that with a sleep dart, just in general, as your aim, it's a lot about how you position yourself and also anticipating what the enemies will do. So you will place a crosshair accordingly. A lot of times, players they don't know where the enemies are, what they might do, so they place their crosshair all over the place, and that's why it's so hard for them to aim. Might be the case with you too, but yeah, you need to watch out for this. That's why I think this topic maybe going over quickly, the scouting. This is what we wanted to do before. Just giving you a few suggestions what you need to fix. And this is what you mentioned a couple of times already. Yeah, sometimes it's hard for you to notice abilities. Maybe it's hard to exactly scout your team. That was the one thing. You notice that you've been alone quite a lot of times. So,
right.
yeah, you can just we have time to to have a brief look, and I think
Yeah,
go over the scouting too if you like. But yeah, do you have any other questions about anything?
I think that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I feel like I'm all over the place. It's just
Oh, it's fine. We can structure all this. It's all good. We didn't have a session for in a while too, so it's all right.
yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. So far we just got the most important thing for us was today. Yeah, focusing on what we can control. All the notes again. Remember, the notes are gonna be in the document. All the notes are there, so you can check this out. The sort model. Don't forget to do it weekly. Maybe I'm gonna mark it. Let's say like sort model here. Yeah, I'm just gonna put red color on this one. What's under your control? Also, you need red color, the priority. And yeah, well, you mentioned you're doing much better with the setup. Let's see. A target priority. That is something we talked about before too. Well, what do you think? Oh, yeah, by the way, what about your target priority? Is it better? You think just keeping an eye on your I guess the HP. If the enemies use it, cool down the position, all of that, or you've been mainly
Um,
focusing more on this position, the setup
yeah, I think a lot of my focus has been like positioning. With
positioning.
target
Sure.
priority, is it okay to like chase down people? Like say if like there's a Genji who's very close to dying, should I try like chasing that Genji down or should I just like let them go or
Well, it depends. Mainly, mainly, if you're able to get an easy kill, and no, your team is not gonna suffer as much because of it. You just get a quick kill, then get back. Nobody's dead, or so. I think it should be fine. Mostly, you want to keep an eye on where your team is fighting. Yeah, I would say that. It's either your team is fighting or you recognize an easy kill opportunity. If it's an easy kill, sure, go chase maybe. But you need to recognize. Yeah, you need to recognize when you're able to do so or not. Most of the time, it's quite useful to keep an eye on where your team is fighting. I think a few sessions ago, yeah, I think our first sessions, we kind of talked about this idea of the kill zone could be useful. Just keeping an eye on fighting where most of your team is.
okay.
Yeah, we can take a look though. We can take a look how is your progress, what you can pay attention to more. Do you have a replay we can start with?
No, I don't I keep forgetting to save one. I don't know if you wanted to do like a live one or.
Oh, we can. Well, we can try. We can do a quick one. So, well, maybe just do the quick play. Maybe I would say this. Yeah, if you struggle with, so there was a big thing with where your team is. Yeah, let's keep an eye on just consistently scouting where they are. Okay, the idea behind it, we want to constantly scout in downtime. So I would say this when just yeah, I'm just gonna write it down actually. So right before the fight, okay, right before the fight, you can scout. You can also scout when you behind the cover, when you're behind the corner. Maybe just let's try to do that. Let's see how it goes. Does that sounds good?
Okay.
Yeah, let's just do quick plays so we have enough time and should be good. You can screen share and yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all so good.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, it's working. Nice. Yeah, and you can do if you struggle more on the Ana, you can do Ana if you like. If you want to do Kiri, you can do Kiri. It's up to you.
Okay.
If you want, you can also do deathmatch. Meanwhile, just kind of try to warm up a little. It's always nice. Oh, okay, we got a game right away. It's good.
Now arriving at Lijiang Tower.
Okay.
So we're starting on one of my weaker maps.
Mm-hmm.
So this will probably be good.
Yeah,
There's also like a version of this map that it's like a little too crazy for me. I think it's this map that has it, like with the moving walls in the middle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. It's you're talking about Busan. Yeah, the moving walls in the middle. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, let's do this. So right before right before the fight, check whether your team is gonna be set up accordingly, and also when you're behind the corner, just look around more frequently. Once you're behind the cover, look around and check where your team is gonna be, because you have this downtime. Okay, so you can take an angle, see if it's possible somewhere. It's fine. Okay, one more fight. Try to predict where your team is fighting. We're trying to just see the general area, and then once your tank is absorbing damage, you can be more active, basically.
Diabolical plans canceled.
You used to be better at this.
Need a moment to recharge.
Okay, so maybe let's do simply scout for where your tank is consistent and set up your angle accordingly. You don't want to play here all the time. Yeah, you still can poke out the early. Yeah, you still can be active, right? And then go back to general area where your tank is. And now they're here, so you can shoot from this angle. Sure. Okay. That's fine. Keep fighting the area where your tank is, and you could just constantly scout, look around, check where they are. And so you constantly know.
This ends now.
See if there's possibility for you to take any better angle later. Maybe like high ground one, or maybe you can also go on the left somewhere, poke from there.
Oh, I thought someone walked by.
Just keep an eye on where your tank is fighting. This is good. And try to set up in the area. Okay? Your tank is out. Your tank is out. You need... Just keep an eye. Mm-hmm. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Well, there are a few things about the angle control. Like, you're a little bit too stuck with your team. You still can be more... going more separate, in a way. Trying to take an angle. Like, let's say you go all the way left room. Or maybe take high ground. It's also possible. You don't exactly stack with your team too much. But it's alright. Keep fighting the area where your tank is. And you constantly just look around whenever you have this downtime. That's it.
Okay. So this one's a little bit, since it's like all straightaways, this one might be like a little bit hard for me.
No, let's see. Well, you still have possibility to take an angle. It's just you, yeah. This map is more of a short range. You need to. Mostly, you will need to fight for this left side room. Yeah, it's gonna be the white room where your tank is gonna be. So you fight it from here. You kind of go, yeah. Well, there's a little bit of a flank approach, but you can try. Keep an eye on where your tank is fighting, though, while you're doing all of that. Okay. Okay. That's okay. You can easily kill that Zarya there. You can kill her, just shoot her. Nice, good job. Again, keep an eye where your tank is fighting. Keep an eye. Generally speaking, they tell you where the fight is. Nice. Okay.
Now I feel like I can't go too far or I'm gonna get hacked.
It's alright, you can also shoot her back. You actually even... You can be quite threatening for the Sombra. It's all good. Still do the same thing, just keep an eye on where she is. You can scout. Huh? Mm-hmm.
I lost track of the tank.
That's all good. You can reset one more time. You have the ultimate. You can initiate with that. When your tank is fighting, you can fight again. And see, all of this process, you need to do it constantly. You need to even... You also do not press tab as much to check the enemy's team, what they do. So it's like... It influences your decisions. It's harder for you. Maybe to make a better decision. Mm-hmm. Okay. So see, you can also add one more variable. You focus on your tank, but also think where the Sombra will be. Where she will be most likely. This is one extra variable for you to think about. Most likely she will be on the flank, if they have one. Yeah, like right there. So see, if you check for this, and you don't have to go that far from your team. If you check for this, then maybe you will be able to prevent the hack. Mm-hmm. That's alright. So see, you just went a little bit too far. You didn't fight within your team's kill zone in a way. Yeah, you don't have to go all the way left. You still can fight from this left side, kind of where the small HP back is.
Done playing around.
Just make sure you scout for the Sombra. Any good?
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so see, it's one thing is scouting for your tank. Another thing can be scouting the enemy. Where the Sombra is, do you know that? She's right behind you. So see, if you know that, maybe you could stay longer. You could just shoot her away. You don't have to TP instantly. Again, you know where the Sombra is? She's on the right side. She's on the left now. She just TP'd away. Yeah, you can just shoot her. She's easy to kill now. Mm-hmm. Sombra's still up. She's right in front of you. Yeah, easily kill it. Can easily kill her. I wouldn't. Yeah, well, there was just one more shot. Oh, she just jumped off the map there.
Just needed a dash of mischief.
Yeah, so see, this is kind of multiple things together, right? I did pay attention to you scouting for your tank, right? There's been quite a lot about that, but there are also other things you need to get comfortable with, and it should be like your habit. Remember how I said, oh, where the Sombra is, that you can scout for that? Yeah, you can constantly... And it's all about your decisions. Yeah, what you could be doing to make it easy for you to even know that Sombra is in the game. What you should be doing. Do you know that? Maybe like pressing tab, for instance. Yeah, like we didn't press tab as much. Yeah, we didn't even check the enemy composition before the fight. Yep. So this might be helpful. Maybe it's also something like looking around a little bit more, just in general, watching out. But the tab is the first thing for you to look for. Yeah, because you do this anticipation. You anticipate where the enemies are. You prepare yourself mentally. Then you can think where those are. Yeah, it's kind of, yeah, I guess try to track certain threats, press stop, think where they are. Yeah, this is gonna be quite important. Yeah, I would focus on that for now. Yeah, it was a little bit brief for the gameplay, but I think might be useful to start with that. Yeah, it's like one part focusing on your team, just focusing on your tank. Another part can be focusing on the enemy's threats. Maybe try to anticipate, try to track 1-2 specific threats, maybe up to 3 at the start. Yeah, think where those might be, press stop, and then yeah, press stop and think where those might be, I guess.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one thing I heard you saying during the match, I don't think I was understanding, is like you were saying, like, think about where Sombra is going to be, and like I don't have to be like that far deep.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think I understood that well. Maybe because it was like just how the match. I'm like focusing on the match, but
yeah, it's difficult. Obviously, like doing both, especially. I told you to focus on the tank as well. Like two things might be a little bit too difficult, but yeah. With Sombra, thinking where the Sombra is, well, it's just at least preparing. Yeah, like pressing tab, checking. The Sombra is there. Okay, where do I expect the Sombra to be? Yeah, so where typically the Sombra will be? On what kind of positions?
usually around point.
Think about it this way, like we explained with Widowmaker. The Widowmaker likes open, long sightlines. What about Sombra?
She's probably the same. That way she could get the hacks and
is
the virus.
Yeah, is it gonna be long though? At what range she likes to fight?
Oh, she's probably gonna be a little bit closer, like way closer.
Range. Yeah, exactly. Short range, really close range. Yeah, short range. And because of the mobility, because she got mobility, you also expect her to be on the flank quite a lot. Any character with mobility, they typically trying to take advantage of their mobility by going all the way back, like trying to, yeah, I guess flank more. Yeah, it's not necessarily the case, might be or not the case, but you expect her there more, and that's where you saw her. In the left room, she's been flanking from there, yeah? And because you know that, it's easy for you to disrupt her, whenever she's hacking you, and you could fight her, so you don't have to exactly TP right away. It's quite easy because you expect her there. She can't go anywhere. You just will see her when she runs to the doorway. She will relieve herself, so you can instantly shoot her, and you can stay on the angle there. Basically, it's just an example, yeah. But it can be same with the Widowmaker. Yeah, you can think, okay, where the Widow is, and then try to position accordingly, try to scout for them, try to maybe even kill them, get close. Yep, just try to fight. I want you to actively scout. Yeah, think where the enemy threats are, but do it in downtime. Yeah, right before the fight, when you're behind the corner, this sort of stuff. Starting with that, I think, can be quite good.
So,
Mhm.
oh, sorry. So
No,
I
no,
always
that's it.
heard you say like watch where the tank is. Is that who like I should be like 180ing from? Is like from the tank, or is that?
With 180, that was been we talked about that you do it relatively to where most of your team is. I just say pay attention to your tank because it's easier to track during the game. Yeah, it's easier because tank, generally speaking, tells you where the main fight is. You want to pay attention to it at first. Yeah, be comfortable with it at first of all. Later, you can pay attention to where most of your team is. It's even better. Yeah, but there are more variables to track. So you take an angle relatively to where most of your team is, like we mentioned. Yeah, just where most of your core is. Most of the time, if not possible, then you can take this 90. Yeah, this sometimes not possible. Sometimes you cannot maybe contribute to your team when you do this 180. But if the map allows you, definitely, yeah, most of the time, try this out. Try to turn the enemy's attention around. Yeah, I think that was it. Any other questions or?
No, I think that was it.
Okay. So yeah, I'm just gonna put in notes. Was mostly about scouting. I would focus on that more later potentially. Yeah, let's work on scouting more. We had a good discussion on how to pay attention to what's under your control, but yeah, I would focus on awareness a little bit more later as well.